Such words uttered with such a disposition were an offence at common law. In Taylor's case, the defendant was convicted upon information of speaking similar words, and the court said that Christianity was parcel of the law, and to cast contumelious reproaches upon it tended to weaken the foundation of moral obligation and the efficacy of oaths. And in the case of Rex versus Woolston's, on a like conviction, the court said that whatever strikes at the root of Christianity tends manifestly to the dissolution of civil government. The authorities show that blasphemy against God and profane ridicule of Christ or the Holy Scriptures, which are equally treated as blasphemy, are offences punishable at common law, rather uttered by words or writings, because it tends to corrupt the morals of the people, and to destroy good order. Such offences have always been considered independent of any religious establishment or the rights of the Church. They are treated as affecting the essential interest of civil society. We stand equally in need, now as formerly, of all the moral discipline, and of those principles of virtue, which help to bind society together. The people of this state, in common with the people of this country, profess the general doctrines of Christianity, as the rule of their faith and practice, and to scandalize the author of these doctrines is not only impious, but is a gross violation of decency and good order.
A fool says there is no God in their hearts. Talk about all the foolishness that the radical leftists, the communists, and the socialists, Marxists, historical revisionists come up with, like such nonsensical idiocy, like you need to go over to the federal or go over to the freedom of speech zone, that they can think that the Constitution, the founding fathers would approve of this city ordinance I was talking about earlier. It is a gross violation, and even and just the quote we just looked at, the quote we just looked at might even fall under that category. The foolish, ignorant stupidity of these liberal, radical, fanatical, leftist, communist, socialist, Marxist people that are polluting our society would just say that they think that the founding fathers would support some city ordinance that would be able to ban or suspend the freedom of speech for a few hours while a farmer's market goes on is absolutely idiot, foolish, and like I said, God said, and the atheist is a fool. And to say that the founding fathers would approve it is absolute ignorant nonsense. No offense to our sensitive folks. I preach the word of God the way it is, and I ain't politically correct, and I don't apologize for it. Listen to this. This is important.
The people of this state, in common with the people of this country, profess the general doctrines of Christianity as the rule of their faith and practice, and to scandalize the author of these doctrines is not only impious, but is a gross violation of decency and good order. Nothing could be more injurious to the tender morals of the young than to declare such profanity lawful. The free, equal, and undisturbed enjoyment of religious opinion, whatever it may be, and free and dissent discussions on any religious subject, is granted and secured, but to revile the religion professed by almost the whole community is an abuse of that right. We are a Christian people, and the morality of the country is deeply engrafted upon Christianity, and not upon the doctrines of worship of those impostors, other religions. We are people whose manners are refined and whose morals has been elevated and inspired with a more enlarged benevolence by means of the Christian religion. Though the Constitution has discarded religious establishments, it does not forbid judicial cognizance of those offences against religion and morality which have no reference to any such establishment. This constitutional declaration, noble and magnanimous as it is, when duly understood, never meant to withdraw religion in general, and with it the best sanctions of moral and social obligation from all consideration and notice of law.
I mean, it's just the absolute absurdity. You hear all the time in the public arena, people, writers, etc., profaning Christianity, Jesus Christ, and so forth, and there's absolutely no consequences. They don't get locked up or anything if they were going to try to get away with that stuff when the founding fathers put the stuff, they would have been fined and thrown in jail.
This constitutional declaration, noble and magnanimous as it is, when duly understood, never meant to withdraw religion in general, and with it the best sanctions of moral and social obligation from all consideration and notice of law. To construe it as breaking down the common law barriers against licentious, wanton, and impious attacks upon Christianity itself would be an enormous perversion of its meaning. Christianity in its enlarged sense, as a religion revealed and taught in the Bible, is part and parcel of the law of the land. Nor are we bound by any expression of the Constitution, as some has strangely supposed, either not to punish at all, or to punish indiscriminately like attacks upon the religion of Muhammad and the Grand Lama, and for this plain reason, that we are a Christian people, and the morality of this country is deeply engrafted upon Christianity, and not upon the doctrines or worship of these impostors. He court is accordingly of the opinion that the judgment must be affirmed. U.S. Supreme Court, 1892, Church of the Holy Trinity v. United States. No purpose of action against religion can be imputed to any legislation, state or national, because this is a religious people. This is historically true. From the discovery of this continent to the present hour, there is a single voice making this affirmation: the commission to Christopher Columbus, that it is hoped that by God's assistance some of the continents and islands in the ocean will be discovered. The first colonial grant made to Sir Walter Raleigh in 1584, and the grant authorizing him to enact statutes for the government of the proposed colony provided that they be not against the true Christian.